Welcome to the 100th video that I've put on my YouTube channel. Because it's my 100th video, I thought I'd give kind of a channel update of where I've been and where I'm going with this channel. The first video that I made for YouTube, I made almost 6 years ago. And to make that video, I used this as my camera, my second generation iPad. And I used this microphone, which plugs in the side of the iPad, as the microphone for my videos. Well, I made the first video on the Battle of Great Bridge reenactment. Then after that video, which I only used the free software that comes with your Apple computer, iMovie, to do the editing for that video. After that video, I made a series of videos for the Norfolk Historical Society, which were videos of their Wednesday night lectures, which take place the second Wednesday of every month at the MacArthur Memorial in Norfolk, Virginia. So after making a series of these videos, I decided to go back to my own YouTube channel. And I made my second video for my YouTube channel right here in this room, which was entitled, "What is History and Can You Be a Historian?" I once again used my iPad Pro as my camera and this plug-in microphone. I then made the investment of buying Final Cut Pro to start editing my videos, and so the edits on my videos became a lot better. Then I did some of my first travel videos where I reviewed the timeshares I stayed in, and I also did the history of the places I went and some of the historic sites. I then got my second camera for this channel, which was the GoPro. And I used the GoPro to make the Dangerous History of Duck, which was one of my early popular videos and really set the tone for my YouTube channel. Not long after that, I made my second purchase as a camera, and I bought this camera. It's the Pocket 2 from DJI. And when I turn it on, you can see it has a gimbal. And this gimbal allows the sensor that sits on the gimbal right here to record a very smooth video when I walk around or move the camera. Also, it turns around so that I can hold it in front of me and walk and talk at the same time with my videos. Well, I took classes at ODU. I took classes in Intro to Filmmaking, documentary production, and I also took photography classes. And when I took Intro to Digital Photography, I saved up my money and I bought the camera that I'm using to make this video right now, which is the Sony Alpha 7 IV. And I bought a prime lens to put on it, which is actually now on my newest camera, which I'll talk about in a moment. Another camera that I use in a lot of my videos is this drone, which has the 1-inch sensor on the front of it. This is the DJI Air 2S, and I use it in a lot of my videos to give context of where I am for an opening shot. Also, there are a lot of places where I cannot fly the drone, or if I fly on an airplane, I usually don't take my drone because it's a lot of additional space to carry on the drone and all the equipment that goes along with it. But I hope to use the drone more in my future videos. So, as I was making these videos, I was watching TV and also listening to other people's videos, and I heard a lot of videos made about Juneteenth, but the history they were using, some of the history just wasn't correct. So because of that, in reaction, I made my own video, and I called it Juneteenth, 6 Facts the Government Doesn't Want You to Understand. And to make that video, I bought a green screen, which I stood in front of, and filmed myself on the camera I'm using now, and then placed myself in front of historic pictures from the Civil War, and I told the history of what led up to Juneteenth and then what happened after Juneteenth. And the premise of that video was that slavery didn't end on Juneteenth like so many of the TV reports and YouTube videos that were made. Slavery ended 6 months after Juneteenth, when the 13th Amendment was finally ratified, and Kentucky and Delaware were forced to free their slaves. These were 2 states that fought for the Union. And the whole premise of the video was that the government chose Juneteenth and not the day slavery actually ended, because it would mess up the narrative that the North didn't have slavery and they were fighting the war to end slavery, and the South had slavery and they were fighting just because of slavery. Now, of course, a major cause of the Civil War was slavery. Everybody knows that. And as a result of the Civil War, slavery ended. Well, that video on Juneteenth took off. And suddenly I went from struggling to get subscribers to having over 1,000 subscribers in a very short amount of time. And my channel got monetized, which was a good thing for me. I'm not making a lot of money at this YouTube channel. I definitely couldn't survive on it. But it did make enough money that I could start buying more camera equipment. And that's when I bought this camera, which is my current favorite camera. It's the Sony Alpha 7R Mark V, which is a great photography camera, and it does a good job at videos. And right now I have my favorite lens on it, which is my 35mm prime G-Master lens. This lens is wonderful. And because of that, I can take pictures and use my green screen and then photograph myself using video on green screen, and everything will match as far as the perspective of the lens, because everything will be 35mm. Well, then my channel, I got involved making a teardrop trailer because I want to do some camping with it. And since it was taking all my time up, I made some videos about it. These videos just didn't get the viewership, so I've stopped making those videos. And I'm going to return more to what I started with on my channel, of making the timeshare reviews and also the historic sites I visit. And I'm also going to make videos about just history, like I did with the Juneteenth video. I've made a couple videos like that, like the first documented escaped slave in Virginia, which was really the story of John Smith. So check that video out. Now, I am also spending a lot of my time working on a grant that I received from the Norfolk Historical Society to work on a grant that they received from the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, sponsored by Dominion Energy. With this grant, I'll be working on a display at Fort Norfolk, which will be about the use of Fort Norfolk as a Civil War prison camp. And because some of the guards for a short period of time were Company B of the 1st Regiment of U.S. Colored Troops, and there's not a lot of history of the 1st Regiment of Colored Troops around, so I'll be making displays about the history of the 1st Regiment of U.S. Colored Troops. This exhibit will also include 2 videos I'll be making. One video about the use of Fort Norfolk as a prisoner of war camp, and one video about the history of the 1st Regiment of U.S. Colored Troops. I have also been spending time making videos for the Norfolk Historical Society, which appear on their YouTube channel. I finished a video on the history of the Chinese community in the Norfolk area, and this is the first video in a series of videos I will be making for them. I made a video about the Greek Fest in Norfolk, a documentary on that, and I'm also making a documentary on the history of the Greek community in the Norfolk area. So be looking for those videos sometime in the near future on the Norfolk Historical Society YouTube channel. Of course, I don't make any money doing those videos. Now, along with doing this grant work, I'm still going to be making videos on this channel about where I stay in timeshares and also the historic sites I see when I travel. I'm also going to be focusing on videos of American history because so much of what we're taught today in schools and our kids are being taught today in schools is very political, and they really don't teach history in an unbiased fashion. And some facts are emphasized and other facts are not, so you get a really biased look at history. So I'm going to try to produce some unbiased history videos of the history of the United States, somewhat like I did with the YouTube video on Juneteenth and the video on how one Native American stopped the Spanish from colonizing Virginia. I want to focus on stories and angles to stories that people just don't do. Well, that kind of gives you an idea of where I've been and where I'm going with my YouTube channel. I want to thank everyone who's watched my videos and especially thank my subscribers. I will never put out a Patreon account because I don't want anybody giving me money for making these videos. I just want people to watch them and enjoy them, and AdSense will pay me a little bit of money. I'm definitely not making a lot of money, could not live on the money I make from YouTube. I do it because I enjoy it. I also enjoy hearing the comments in the comment sections on the videos. Not all comments are complimentary. I've had some, should I say, nasty comments on my YouTube videos sometimes. Especially the Juneteenth video got a lot of nasty comments. But it also got some very good comments because I taught people history that they just didn't know. And I basically just told the truth. So continue to leave comments. I like reading the comments, and I hope everyone will enjoy the videos that I'm going to produce in the future. And I thank everyone for watching, and until next time, see ya.